Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a special video. It's a game review, but it's not going to be the one from the end of the last one. This is going to be about a game that is kind of hated by even its own community. That is to some extent sad. I want to shed a new light on it. The game that we're going to be reviewing today is Anthem. Yeah, probably a bit shocked by that. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, Sean, Anthem is a cruddy game. You are a very optimistic person and someone who is very easy to look at the bright side of things. Anthem doesn't have that. Give up now. To you I say, that opinion is to some extent wrong. Now, yes, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but some opinions are just kind of wrong. Anthem is a good game. People just don't want to give it a chance again, for whatever reason. But I'm here to kind of set some of the things straight. The reason I'm doing this for the most part is because this is a couple weeks back. BioWare and EA are having a sit-down thing. They're going to be they're talking about the game and whatnot. I want my opinion to be heard. So, if you're watching this video, I'm going to challenge you. And I'm saying this early on so you can hear this. I challenge you to send this video out to at least 2 other people. Get this video shared around. Let people know about it. I want people to know Anthem's a good game, and it needs to be given another chance. It really truly does. Go ahead and if possible, see if BioWare can see this. Let the devs of the game see this. It would be amazing if they could. That's probably stretching it a bit, but you know what? I'm optimistic. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on with this review. Now, where shall we start? This game has a lot of things to it. That is for sure. One of the key features is your javelin, which, cosmetically wise, you have a lot of cosmetics. And the joy of this game is, if you spend enough time playing, you don't have to spend a dime on this game to be able to get any of the cosmetics. Granted, I haven't played a lot, so I don't have a lot of coins, so I can't buy a lot of cosmetics. Granted, I don't play the game for the cosmetics, but that's okay. This game does cosmetics right, and I kind of like the way they do it. It's kind of wish games did it a lot more, where you could actually easily acquire the stuff to get cosmetics in the game. Like, yeah, Destiny has Bright Dust, there's a Bright Dust store, all good, but you're very limited to what you can get. There is no way, for example, let's see here, what's a good one to think of? The blade throwing emote that I have in Destiny. I had to spend money on that. There was no way I could get that without spending my own personal money. So, in this game, as far as I know, I haven't seen anything yet that I can't get by putting in enough time and grinding for what I want. I see that as a win. I'm not gonna lie. Now, as far as the javelins themselves, it's a very interesting game mechanic. I really like the javelins. There are 4 different javelins, and each one are very unique, and they really cater to a playstyle. I've seen videos all over the internet saying, if you don't use this javelin, you are going to fail at this game. You're going to be bad at it. I'm like, no, I won't. I use the javelin I use because I like it. Yes, there are some javelins that are going to make the gameplay easier, but if I wanted an easy game, I would probably go play Minecraft. I'm going to be honest. Well, it's easy for me anyway, but if I wanted to do something that was easy for me, I'd go play Minecraft. I really like the javelin I use. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't think of it. I'm doing this video unscripted, by the way, so everything's kind of going off the top of my head. But I love the javelin I use. It's fast. It's very melee focused. It's very nice and enjoyable. My next javelin I'm getting is the storm javelin, just because I hear that it has some pretty nice flying mechanics. Like, it doesn't overheat as easily, which I might like, and I hear it's kind of well-rounded. I'm going to try that one next once I get enough levels. But overall, each javelin is very catered to a playstyle. There is probably a javelin in this game that you will like. You just kind of have to spend the time to find it. Don't just pick a javelin, and if it sucks for you, give up on the game. because honestly, all the javelins are good. But that's not where a lot of the complaints come from when it comes to the game. The javelins are good, and I'm pretty sure that's a thing that most people can agree on, is that they are good. They are done well. They are overhauling a lot of it, mostly the stuff for the gear and stuff, which that's a good. I'm okay with that. I've seen some of the the stuff that the devs have put out, like little sneak peeks at it and whatnot, of what they're doing with their overhaul. It looks good. It looks nice. It looks like it's going to be interesting and fun. And I'm happy to see what they end up doing, if EA allows them to. Next up, though, to get away from the javelins, because I'm pretty sure universally a lot of people agree that the javelins are good. And now we're going to go ahead and hop into what a lot of people consider to be the downfall of this game. And that's the gameplay. This game has some good gameplay. I'll say this right now. For most of this video, it's mostly a 21-minute clip of me literally just flying around, shooting stuff, and having some fun. In all 21 of those minutes, granted, you guys probably don't see all 21 because it's going to be edited down, obviously. All 21 of those minutes, I had fun. It is enjoyable gameplay. Now, do I wish there was able to do more people in my lobbies? Yes. Having the size of the map that we have, and only 4 people being able to be in it at one time, kind of annoying, I'm not going to lie. It's like, the chance of me finding someone, like right now, I'm doing an event. The odds of me finding someone else who's going to be doing that event is 1 in 3. I'm going to be honest. And that's annoying, because a lot of these events, unless you're literally at the end game, like the highest level that you can be, then odds are you're not going to be able to do this event by yourself. And I don't know anyone else that plays this game. I'm left to the mercy of that 1 in 3 chance that I'm probably going to get someone to do this event with me. Now, the first event I did, yes, I did get someone with me, and I'm very thankful for that. Most times that I've done events, I don't have an event completion in this game because I can never find anyone that's doing them. If BioWare wants this game to be a success, I would definitely recommend increasing the cap on the multiplayer, making it to where more than 4 people at a time can be in an iteration of the map. Other than that, the gameplay itself is enjoyable. Another thing I hear a lot of complaints on is that the flying is very slow and sluggish. It's a big map. The flying is not slow. The flying is not sluggish. It is very fast. It's just, it's a massive map. You're a small little person in a massive world. It's going to take you a minute to fly from each side of the map. It's not like it takes you a gosh darn day. Lighten up. It's really good flying mechanics. The flying mechanics and controls are brilliant. I love them. The first time I used them, I fell in love with them instantly. As far as the gun mechanics go, they're pretty good. The aiming's okay. I've never really been the biggest fan of third-person shooters. But it's okay. If I could, I kind of wouldn't mind a first-person option. This game doesn't have any PvP, so it's not like it would hurt it. So having an option to go into first-person, if there is, and I'm being an idiot, feel free to let me know down in the comments. But if there was a first-person option, if there isn't one already, I'd say implement it. If there is one already, I'm sorry, BioWare, I'm an idiot. Anyway, yeah, that's the only thing as far as guns go. I would prefer it in first person. There's people who like third person. There's people that like first person. I think I've said that twice. Either way, point is, I prefer first person, but I still like third person games. I play Fortnite every once in a blue moon, and I play this game obviously. As far as the abilities, they're pretty good. They're very customizable, and they're kind of useful. The only downside is they do suffer from the fact that when it comes to loot, this game doesn't give you much. So, therefore, your abilities do kind of suffer because you get your abilities from augments that you put on your javelin, which you get those augment things from your loot. So, the fact that the loot in this game kind of sucks means your abilities also kind of suck. Like, for example, there's this thing called a combo in this game, which you use your abilities for. You have a primer and a detonator. in this entire time that I've played this game so far, I have never gotten a detonator ability. I have only gotten purely primer abilities. And that means I can't actually do one of my Legionary challenges right now because I need to do combos in order to get it done. But I'm going to be grinding out loot here in a couple days. I'm sure I'll get one eventually. That's just kind of down to luck at that point. As far as the ads go, like the enemies you fight, most of them offer a challenge. The ones that are meant to be easy to pick off are easy to pick off, and then obviously you're fighting other javelins at times. When you're fighting the Dominion, you're fighting all sorts of stuff. The ones that are meant to offer a challenge genuinely offer a challenge, like the big brutes that have a shield. Those things are kind of annoying to fight, and I know they're meant to be. So, yeah. The enemies you fight, as far as gameplay go, perfect. Really couldn't really want it other way. Now, the end-world events, I actually don't have an opinion on those. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really got a good feel for them. I've only done a handful of them, and I've never completed one, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on those. I don't want to talk about something that I haven't fully experienced properly. I say properly because here in a second we're going to be getting to the story, and I haven't fully finished the story as of yet, but I'm still going to talk about it. Mainly because I've experienced a good portion of it. And anyway, perfect segue into the story is, well, the story's good. The only thing that really gets in the way of the story is when you hit a loading screen. When you hit a loading screen in this game, prepare to sit there for at least a couple minutes. There are some loading screens that are relatively fast, like the one we are looking at right now. This one was pretty quick, but it's still a little sluggish. I'm not a game developer. I don't know what makes loading screens take forever in certain games and what makes them go immediately in some games. But I can tell you this much. I'm sure if they took the time, they could isolate whatever on earth it is and try to fix it. If they can't, I'm sorry BioWare for assuming, but please, if somehow this video gets to you, I beg of you, please shorten the loading times. As someone who's trying to play this for the campaign and the story, it really makes it unbearable to be in the middle of a story and then you have to go into an area and there's a loading screen transition and I'm sitting there for about 5 minutes and I am just kind of sitting there awkwardly trying to figure out what I'm doing when I'm chasing down some bad dude. But yeah, that's really my only complaint about the story. So far, where I'm at in it, I have really truly enjoyed this campaign in this game. It's very interesting. The background lore to this game is also brilliant. It shows that they spent the time to make the game look good, and to have a good backstory, and have good lore, and have a good story. There's a lot of good aspects to it, and I really enjoy it. There are so many things that I really want. Once I do beat the campaign, I'm going to spend so many hours reading up on the lore and back lore of every last bit of this game. It is very immersive. That's one thing that it has in common with Destiny for me. Destiny has a ton of lore. I could sit there for hours on end, and I still wouldn't read all the lore tabs in Destiny. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I could sit there hours on end, but I could definitely sit here for a good while, and I probably still wouldn't reach all the lore on this game. And that's what makes me fall in love with games so much. I love to read lore. And yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing when it comes to the campaign. And honestly, yeah, that's probably the biggest problem the game itself has, is the loading screens, in my opinion. Occasionally, yes, there are some game-breaking bugs. If you watched my last episode, I walked into an area, and I was glitching around, and couldn't move, and the only reason I got out of that room is because I ulted, and used the fact that my ult has a dash ability to get out of the room. It was really buggy, very annoying, but that was the first game-breaking bug I had ran into in my time of playing this game. They're not as common as people make them out to be. The big downfall for this game nowadays is honestly the community for me. I've only been part of the community for a while, and all I really see from players is that they're complaining, which some degree of complaining is reasonable, and I have my own personal complaints about the game personally, but most of them are personal things like I wish I could play in first person. But a lot of complaints are just kind of unreasonable, and people are pushing the dev team a lot from what I can tell, or at least trying to. They're not really succeeding in pushing them, which I'm very happy about, but they're attempting to, and that's what kind of makes me upset. I really don't want this game to, if they release the 2.0 update, I really don't want it to end up like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was rushed, and look at it now. It's literally dying. I haven't seen anything related to Cyberpunk since its release, honestly. And that's because it had a very rushed delivery. The developers were threatened, they were pushed, they were pressured. All of that stuff combined, and that made the game what it is today. If the community would have given them patience and time and waited, Cyberpunk probably could have been a way better game than it is. And that's why I think the community of this game, while they're not toxic and they're not bad people, they just need to take a chill pill and just enjoy the game for what it is at the moment and say, alright, it might not be perfect, but it's still playable, it's enjoyable. It might have some annoyances every now and again, but something better's on the way. All I can really do is wait. I'd rather not make it worse. That's really all they can do, and it's what they should do instead of trying to push the devs to make something better when that's what they're doing. They're just not done yet. But people will be people. I can't really change the opinion of everybody. I can just put mine out there and hope it has some effect. That's about all I got. This game review has turned definitely into a bit more of me ranting and tangenting. But overall, I think Anthem is an amazing game. I love it personally. I really hope the EA and BioWare talks happened a couple weeks ago. I really hope that EA decides that they want to keep going on with this game and will keep supporting BioWare in it. Just because it has the potential to be a really good competitor with like Destiny and Warframe. It just needs to be polished and refined a little more. I really believe it could be really amazing. But that's just my opinion. And that's the end of the video, to be honest. I really don't have anything else to say other than, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you've considered installing Anthem, do it. It's a good game. It's worth installing, it's worth playing. And honestly, yeah, share this video around, get it around, you know the deal. Honestly, if possible, try to get to the BioWare devs. It would be really cool if they saw it. But that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
It's too volatile. You need to destroy it. Ah, not good. Dominion have serious backup headed your way. Okay, that's one.